Ever since I was in high school, I've always wanted to travel the world a little, and one place specifically being Japan, and this year I got that chance. You see, around April of last year, my auntie reached out to me asking, "Hey, did you want to come to Japan in mid-February next year?" Upon receiving this message, I jumped on this opportunity. Fast forward to the start of February of this year, and this is where my journey begins. So sit back, relax, as from this point onwards, everything that is recorded is my blind reaction to everything. And I mean everything. Hope you enjoy. Day 0? The start of the trip began as follows. 2 to 3 hours of sleep, double checking everything, and a shower. I was ready to go, just had to wait for my auntie and uncle to pick me up. We then got to the airport. I got myself some breakfast as I hadn't eaten anything for about 3 hours up to this point. I then finally boarded the plane and proceeded to spend the next 9 or so hours in the air to reach Tokyo.
The skies ahead are vast and clear. I hold my breath, step up a gear, feel the wind, smell the air. Chances are everywhere. Our sights are set beyond the moon. Let's show the world what we can do. Dreams are big, eyes are wide. Hear the voice deep inside. Obstacles are no excuse. Come what may, there's nothing to lose. Turbulence won't stop us, we'll keep pulling through. Challenges life throws our way make us even stronger today. This is how we ignite. Boost your spirit off the ground. I'm a spark that won't go out. We can go much higher now. Gravity can't hold us down. We're only at the beginning of this one-way dream. Ignite dreams to life.
After some time to get through customs and whatnot, we finally made it into Tokyo. I unfortunately forgot to film the train, but we got a train to our hotel. Day 1. I began this by greeting you all with my subpar view of where I was staying. The views get better later on, trust me. Quick fit check, then I was on to our first destination, which was Sensoji Temple. But before getting there, when we walked out of the subway station, I saw this. Whatever this is. It just looked like a giant golden horn. I don't know. If anyone knows anything about Japan or has scenes in Tokyo, can you let me know? Thanks. As we approached the temple, I was actually baffled to see the amount of people there, and a grand majority were locals, may I add. I think I saw a few people in kimonos. Now, let me remind you, it was around 1 to 5 degrees Celsius, which is about 33 to 41 Fahrenheit for my American audience. Don't worry, I got you guys. I then caught a quick glimpse at Tokyo Sky Tree. Okay, before I continue, I just want to clarify something. With regards to the Sky Tree, I only thought there was just the one tower, and I thought it was a pretty cool name for the tower. So my dumbass thought this was the Tokyo Tower. I was sorely mistaken. I then carried on walking towards the temple, made my way through the markets that were along the entryway to the actual temple itself, then stopped to get myself a blessed trinket and pulled a fortune.
Right, so no corresponding? Okay. I want that. Oh, you're better for it. Good fortune.
I then finally got into the temple, had a look around, and made a prayer to show my respect. I didn't film this also out of respect. but mainly because later on I saw there were signs saying no photos or videos to be taken. Okay, look, I didn't know there were signs in the first place because they were placed right inside the temple. But once I saw the signs, I quickly put my phone away. There were other people also doing what I was doing, and they didn't get in trouble, but I like to be cautious. Anyway, carrying on, I later on discovered sakura trees not too far out from the temple's grounds, and I was lucky enough to have found a blooming cherry blossom. It may have been small, but it was quite beautiful. We all then stopped to grab some food. Now, out of all the things I could have for lunch, I could have had ramen, sushi, curry, you know, Japanese cuisine delights. I had McDonald's. Okay, hear me out. Trying a fast food franchise in a foreign country, I didn't want to pass this up. So I got myself the Samurai Mac meal. Not anything like a Big Mac, more like a mix of a double cheeseburger and a quarter pounder. And it was actually pretty good. I then finished my food, and then it was off to our next destination, and I've been wanting to go here for years. We went to Akihabara. Now, if you don't know Akihabara, it's literally the home for all things gaming, anime, and otaku culture. And another thing I didn't expect and surprised me was maid cafes. As every like 5 to 10 meters, there were just these girls all dressed up handing out flyers in maid cafes. I will say they were all very cute looking. And of course, I got myself some stuff. I got myself a One Piece keychain showing Sabo because there was no Luffy. Sag. I also got a figurine of Luffy in his Gear 5 form holding a bolt of lightning, which was a very cool purchase. And found a life-size replica of Cloud's Cloudbuster sword just sitting on display in the front of a store. I then got back to my hotel room to relax a little bit, but to also do some show and tell for what I got today. Haul time. I got the Gear 5 form because he kind of just yoinks a bolt of lightning from the air. I saw this and I'm like, that's kind of cool. So I got that. And also, I got a Hatsune Miku pin? Yeah. I got a Hatsune Miku pin for a friend of mine. And also, I ended up getting the Sabo keychain. And it's really cool because not only does it have Sabo's hat as like a thing, and as well as his name, but also in the shape of the devil fruit he ate, which was Ace's devil fruit if you know One Piece. I'm not sure if you can tell, I'm a bit of a One Piece nerd, so yeah. Sadly, I could not find anything Sonic related, which I wanted to find. The last thing I got, I was so back and forth with getting. I got this bad boy. I got the Himeji Castle Special Deluxe Edition. That's how you know it's special. I was back and forth between getting a Lego piece set that I know I can get back at home, or this. But I'm like, you know what? I want a challenge for when it comes to like building something, because I like building stuff. And this, you can't see, is max level difficulty. Over 5,000 pieces. So I've challenged myself to do that. That might be for a stream, which if you want to see, let me know in the comments, as well as, if you're not following on Twitch, twitch.tv/macetech. And lastly, a little bit of story time. Sap story time as well, actually, before I forget, because I'm probably going to forget. I wanted to tell this at some point in like the trip. So, about 10, maybe 15 years ago, back in year 6 in primary school, I was, well, me and my class cohort for year 6, we were all given the knowledge that we might be going for a trip to Canberra. We're going to go there for a ski trip and to do some historical monuments, sightings and whatnot for the army and government stuff, like political nonsense. I didn't care for that. All I cared for was the snow. Sadly, we never got to go because it was an expressive interest, not a direct deposit nonsense. I was too young to understand, so I didn't really pay much mind to it. All I know was it was denied and we couldn't go, so that happened. In year 12 of high school, we had 2 things happening at the time. So first was a snow ski trip to somewhere. I think it was to Canberra again, or 2, because depending on which classes you did. I technically wasn't a part of this class, but I applied for it because I wanted to go on this trip. Was basically a student exchange program for Japan. My high school, we were going to do a student exchange program with our sister school here in Kyoto, which I would have loved to do. Would have had the whole school experience and get to do a whole Japanese schooling experience, right? Could have had that. I say could have, but let me paint you this picture. The year was 2020, in June. If you know, you know. But I'm going to spell it out for you for those that don't know. It was COVID, and we had an outbreak in Australia. Also, I think around the world, again. So, that trip got cancelled because of COVID. But little do I know, year 12 me 5 years later, would be in Japan in its current time. Can someone let me out from this crazy dream? Because I mean, not that I want to leave, but like, I still can't fathom that I'm here. And I'm going to the US in like 4 months' time as well. This is insane. I want to enjoy the rest of this trip to its fullest. Whether or not I like record or film anymore between here and now, like voiceovers and getting my like actual genuine like reaction to everything, will be a different story entirely. I will try if I remember. So this vlog may be a long one. Might be a long one. Could be half an hour. Could be a whole ass hour. Not too sure because there's so much stuff I want to keep in this video. But I will see you all when we head off to this gaming arcade place to play some video games. Hopefully there's some Beat Saber. I want to play some Beat Saber because I have not played that game in years. And to finally wrap up today, my uncle and I went to Tokyo Tower for an electronics amusement park. It was essentially an arcade with a lot of interactive technology than most arcades. This place was called Red Arcade and was inside the bottom of Tokyo Tower. There was VR, motion sensors, driving simulators, 4D cinemas with VR. This place had all the bells and whistles, gizmos and gadgets. If there were any place to go have fun with VR and whatnot while having the elements of a typical arcade, this was the place. It was crazy fun. But when all was said and done, it was time to go home and get ready for day 2. Day 2. Today was going to be a crazy day. Why? Because I went to Disney Sea, baby! Waking up at 7 AM, I was extremely exhausted, but the excitement of going to Disney Sea was rushing through my veins. Spent the first 30 minutes to an hour just catching trains. I underestimated how busy this place was going to be, and you'll soon see what I mean in a bit. Because holy shit, we spent an additional hour and 30 minutes just waiting to get into the park. It was around 8:30 by the time we got there, and this was the lovely queue we had to wait through. I'm just glad we decided to go to Disney Sea over Disneyland Tokyo, as I saw the lineup on the way there. It was not a pretty sight. But after waiting around for almost another hour and a half, we finally got inside and we were greeted with a really amazing globe fountain display. And with the excitement still coursing through my veins, I was just so in awe with everything around me. I knew how good Disney parks were after having watched the Imagineering documentary series 6 times on Disney+, but actually being inside one of the parks was actually so surreal. It honestly felt like I was in a dream. We were then greeted by a marching band playing some Disney themes, I think. I don't know, wasn't much of a classic Disney enjoyer, but either way, seeing this marching band was really cool. You can tell by my unfathomed enthusiasm for the snare drummer.
Drums are cool.
After passing through Main Street area, I got myself some popcorn as a quick snack. Then we entered into one of the many areas of the park. And I'll just let past me indulge you with my experience.
Is that the queue for the ride? God damn! There she goes, you're up now. Whoa! Yeah, that's where I'm going later on today. Telling me we're in freaking Atlantis right now? Hang on, what? We were in a volcano. Now we're in freaking under the sea. What the heck? This is literally Atlantis. What the heck, man? Big river. I am being very careful with my phone because I don't want to drop it. That would suck. $3,000. That is still like incredibly unreal. The fact that we were just in a volcano, like around a volcano, and then we got that over there. Like, what? Disney, what the heck, man? Oh, there we go. We're spinning now. Oh my god. Yo! Look at this guy. What a king, literally. Oh, that's cool. Nice little like diorama / terrarium thing of like inside. That's cool. Look at him go! Whoa! Big fish balloon things. That's sick. What the heck? Done with Atlantis now. We're going on the ride that we said earlier, the volcano one. Journey to the center of the earth. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm gonna die in a volcano. That's so cool. That's really cool. In the fast pass line now. We're waiting for the ride. Gonna be a long wait. But big excite. Big excites. We are in the center of the earth right now. Not really, but yeah. Oh my god, that was so cool. That was so cool. Everything about that ride was astonishing. So we're going down a tunnel, like going on a massive like train ride thing to the bottom of, like, you know, center of the earth. And then we see this massive creature like looking like a demon thing. And then woof, up through a volcano at the top and woof, back down. It was unreal. I wish I could have filmed it, but I was too in awe with everything around me. It was amazing. We got more stuff to do today. First purchase of the day was like a nice Baymax hoodie. I'll try it on when I get to the hotel. But now we're going on 20,000 leagues under the sea. I'm big excited. The captain's quarters. That's so cool.
You control the line.
Oh, you did it.
How cool is that?
慎重に調べるのだ。このままでは潜水艇が危険です。何かに襲われているに違いない。全速力で通過させるのだ。掴まれているようです。動きません。電圧を上げて撃退しろ。よろしい。潜水艇の位置を特定できるか。いいえ、我々には全く未知の深海に迷い込んでしまったようです。船長。
You got a friend in me. Boy Woody! Yo! What's he doing with that big jaw of his? What's he doing? Is he eating us? Oh god, we're gonna be eaten by a big old doll. This Jesse, I'm gonna win you a prize. Yeehaw, Sheriff Woody. Whoa, the prospector. Aim for the bullseye, you varmints. That sounds like something Yosemite Sam would say from Looney Tunes. I'm getting eaten by Mickey Mouse. What the heck? Gang. My boy Slinky. Yeah. Ew, Stinky Pig. What the hell are you doing here? This is actually so colorful. Toy Story Mania was very fun. I got to just spam a lot of virtual balls at targets and such. I won in points, but my accuracy was kind of trash. My cousin won in accuracy though, which is good, but like, I got outbeat by my cousin in one thing I didn't really care about though. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I'll take some food now. I'll take some burgers. So yeah, back to Terra 4. It pops up right there. Doors open up and there it goes and back down. Very funny, very cool. Food time. Yo! Marine Life Institute. They cooked here. Oh my god. Look at those guys. They're going crazy. This is cool. Holy hell. What's up for your time? Let's go. We ride on things. Very fun. Yo, it's Indy's temple. Well, not his temple, but you know, the temple where the movie's from. That's kind of cool. The entrance looks like a face. I'm not sure if you can see it, like, you know, got the eye there, mouth in the middle. Looks like a face. Go, the Fanny Sleep Pond, let's go. Anna, Elsa, my boy P over here. And Rapunzel and the chameleon guy, I forget his name. Rapunzel, very cool. We're quite literally in Neverland. Like, this is insane. This is quite insane. Got the Thomas Tower over there. That's kind of cool. Hang on a second. It's her. Holy crap. Oh. Yo, we in Arendelle now, and guess whose castle's up on top of that mountain? You guess Elsa? You get a star. This is so cool. And I'm not sure if this is the castle here for Elsa, but damn! Elsa's Ice Palace. Hell yeah, that looks so cool. What the heck? Why is there cream there? My eyes deceive me, or do I see Mickey Mouse in a wizard hat? Holy shit. Yo! Okay. I'm set for today. See Mickey Mouse in the wizard get up. It's cool. Make it any better. All the princesses. And like the husbands and stuff. Look at this. We've got Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella. Hell yeah, man. Wow. Also, is that the Maleficent? Big drag lady. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Bought more gifts. I bought my mother a Pooh Bear plush, but I've chosen to go on indie, and it's gonna be like an hour and a half wait. So this is a sight for sore eyes. Holy shit! Disney Sea has been amazing so far. Day isn't over yet. It's only like it's like 4:30 or 5 o'clock. So we've got plenty of time in the park to explore and stuff. But yeah. Making the most of it. Couldn't do Indiana Jones ride because it was temporarily closed due to capacity being reached for the day, so that sort of sucked. Journey to the Center of the Earth has definitely been my favorite ride thus far. I wish I could have gone on more rides today. Like, I probably would have gone on Tower of Terror. I think it's that way somewhere. But I decided not to because I'll be going to Disneyland Anaheim in the next 4 months or so. I'm on my way back to Atlantis because meeting up with the rest of the family over there. Because I said I was going to be going on Indy, but didn't happen because of what I said. So that sucks. Yeah, been a real big crazy day. I'm getting tired, but the grind don't stop. Alright, I'm off to Atlantis and I will catch you all probably for like the parade or whatever it is. There's like some weird show happening later on tonight, so that might be the end of the day. And I'll do a little review once we get back home. So yeah. Found the chaos somewhere. Excuse you? Excuse you? What? Nighttime is the right time. There is Saturday Night Live show today because it got cancelled due to weather. You're not on Disney City. It was fun being here today. Hope to come back soon. Woo!
I had such an amazing time, and still looking back on what I recorded that day, it still feels like a surreal fever dream to have had my first Disney experience. And as the day started coming to a close, we went on one last ride on the monorail that went around both parks. But about halfway through, my phone died. I had recorded so much on my phone that it couldn't handle the amount of content and thus perished. I then waffled on a little bit after getting back to the hotel.
Today was a really fun day. I thoroughly enjoyed it. My first Disney experience. Oh yeah, I forgot the haul. I got a haul of stuff. First of all, here's the brand new item I got. This is for my mother because she loves this guy. Pooh Bear. Winnie the Pooh. So I got her that. I got a massive Winnie the Pooh plush. Who's this guy? He's a chonker. Look at him. Big boy. So I got myself two things. I got myself this little hat, which looks so silly and goofy and cute at the same time. I love it. Oh, I love it. I got my mother and my sister. Got family things because they're not here. I got my mother a pair of Tinkerbell ears because she likes Tinkerbell. And I got my sister some Frozen stuff because she likes Frozen as far as I'm aware, I think. Hopefully. But the Minnie Mouse ears, so I'm sure she'll like them. I also got a keychain set of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and I don't actually know who this guy is. I apologize to all my Peter Pan fans and Tinkerbell fans. If you know who this little mouse guy is, let me know in the comments, because I have no clue. And last but not least, which was the first thing I got today, my little Baymax hoodie, which looks amazing. Like, okay, I'm a sucker for simplistic designs, and this is as simple as it gets. You got the Baymax eyes, and you also got a little embroidered heart sleeve on the sleeve.
Day 3. Today was my last and final day in Tokyo, and we started off by heading to an interactive art gallery called Team Lab Planets. Now, there were 2 Team Labs in Tokyo, Planet and Borderless. We went to Planet for one of mainly 2 reasons. The first, it was a better reviewed one, and the other, I think, was it was closer to our next destination, which I'll announce in a little bit. Team Labs Planets may have been an interactive art gallery, but in my personal opinion, it was a technological masterpiece. There was so much going on. There was indoor water sections, in-house gardens, and a section to imitate stars and such, which made sense due to the name of this place.
Oh, this is cool. Nice lovely soak. Oh, they're koi fish! Oh, where is that? They're koi fish! I thought it was just like lion swimming in the water. I didn't floating fish. It's koi, yeah. We're like a little reef. Pretty flowers. Pretty flowers. So bright now, God. But shiny rocks, really shiny rocks. That's kind of cool. Swirly swirlies, big swirlies. This is very cool. I like this one.
But there was just so much cool stuff within this place. Like, the technology feels like it's 5 to 10 years ahead of its time. And there were some parts of this place I wish had a little more to show, but that's my only critique. But after finishing up our time at Team Labs Planet, it was time to set off onto the next destination, which was Meiji Jingo Shrine in Shibuya. However, we first decided to go on the monorail all the way to the end of the line to explore the sights from high up. And it was pretty cool what was around us. Well, at least I thought it was pretty cool. I even saw that Gundam statue that floats around the internet. I sadly wasn't able to record much of it. But once we got into Shibuya, we finally explored the shrine. Pretty similar experience to the first one we went to. Only exception was that it was such a long walk away. I didn't actually realize how big this area was until we entered it. And similar to the last shrine, I couldn't record directly looking into the shrine. But I paid my respects and we were off. After this, we split up. My auntie and cousin going to explore Shibuya, and my uncle and I were off to another part within Shibuya. You see, Japan is home to some of the biggest game companies in the world, one being Nintendo, and one of the titles under this name is Mario Kart. Okay, just to clarify, we didn't go to Nintendo. In Shibuya, there's one activity that has exploded in popularity amongst tourists, and this was essentially a real-life version of Mario Kart. We went to Street Kart Shibuya Annex. Now, I've been go-karting before, both electric and petrol-powered, but what I've never done is go street karting. I did want to use my GoPro that I brought with me, but sadly I wasn't allowed. Thankfully, the Shibuya Annex crew had a GoPro record hire and actually record the footage onto. So here's some of the footage I got to record while exploring the heart of Shibuya on a street cart. We then finalized the day by going into Shibuya to explore a little bit, got to eat some delicious food from an amazing view within Shibuya Scramble Square, and went back to the hotel. Now this is where things get a little weird, one could say. The plan was for me to check out my current hotel as I was going to have a capsule pod hotel experience. What I didn't know was I had to pre-book it. So while I was scrambling around Shibuya to find something to eat, my auntie booked me a one-night stay at a hotel around the corner from where I was previously staying. Hope that catches you up to speed. Day 4. Today I was up bright and early as I needed to double check a lot of things before having to leave the hotel I was in, but first I went to get something to eat for breakfast, obtained some sustenance, and then finally checked out. Now before continuing on, I am sad to say that I wasn't thorough enough with my packing as I left some belongings behind. What was sadly left behind were the Minnie Mouse ears I had gotten from my mother and sister, as well as the Miku pin and my Cyber keychain. I say this now as I found out when we were leaving another destination, which will be later in the vlog. As for now, I was off to reconvene with my auntie, uncle and cousin, and we were off to a bullet train that took us on a 2-hour or so trip down south towards Nagano. This is where the fun really began. Now I'm pretty sure I mentioned earlier that I had never properly seen snow before, like in person, and there was a place in Nagano where we were going. It was a snow resort called Nozawa Onsen. My relatives had been here before about 4 or 5 years ago, so they knew what was around. I was going in blind, but my gosh was I in awe to actually see some snow. Anyway, I'll stop yapping and let you enjoy a nice scenic montage from my view on the bullet train.
Do you ever feel drowning in open sky on the empty hill where you started your life, chasing past those skies in the dark of the night? Well, the words said like the tears in her eyes, they both lit up with all surprise. I'll take your hand, we'll run to the empty sky. Will you take my hand and we'll run to the empty sky? Don't you worry, I'll be your reason. Don't you worry, I'll be your reason. Well, the words said like the tears in her eyes, they both lit up with all surprise. I'll take your hand, we'll run to the empty sky. Will you take my hand and we'll run to the empty sky? Don't you worry, I'll be your reason. Don't you worry, I'll be your reason.
Now once we actually got to Nagano, we waited around I think roughly an hour for a bus to take us directly to the resort. Then we finally got onto the bus for another 30 to 40 minutes. Once we arrived, we had to hike pretty much from the bottom of a hill to about roughly halfway to reach our lodge. We finally settled in, put our stuff down, then we were off immediately to have some dinner at this amazing steakhouse. And upon arriving, I met up with some of my auntie and uncle's closest friends. However, I didn't want to film as to not be disrespectful, but what I had that night was probably one of the best meals I've ever had. We made us home to many fine dishes and foods, and considering we were at a steakhouse and Wagyu was on the menu, that moment was good enough of any moment to enjoy this delightful steak. Day 5. I started off today by waking up to having a classic breakfast choice, bacon, scrambled eggs and toast. And while my family was out in the snow having a fun day, I had the chance to have a day to myself and just relax a little and explore the village. And while exploring, I wanted to try some food. That's when I found this really cozy little cafe. The workers were absolutely amazing, I just want to add, and they had a Sheba. My life is now complete. What I ordered was a ham and 3 cheese toasty and a hot chocolate. Now, with the toasty, I said 3 cheese. That's because there was actually 3 different types of cheese laid inside the toasty. And this toasty was by far the best homemade toasted sandwich I've ever had. And the hot chocolate was also incredible. I then finished my meal and went to go get some new gloves, as the ones I was given weren't usable for touchscreen. Woohoo. And with new gloves in hand, or actually on hand, I had to play with the snow a little. Yeah. I then went to find some shrines, but to my idiocy, I realized later on that they were all snowed over. However, found a little memorial, a museum that was closed, and a little bit of history regarding Nagano and the Paralympics. After finishing my little trip in the village, I caught some cool sights from the mountain and was able to see the gondola. This one you see is the Nagasaka gondola. Later on, I went on another adventure in hopes of hiring some gear for skiing because I wanted to give it a crack. Not every day you're in a foreign country with beautiful powdery like snow for skiing and snowboarding. After successfully hiring my gear from Zawa Central, I was off back to the lodge. If you're ever in Ozawa in snow season, go hire your stuff from Zawa Central. Excellent service and very patient, and also just a bunch of cooler people. However, before getting back to the lodge, I was able to catch someone coming down from the mountain on one of many runs. It was honestly really cool to know that we could see people coming down from the mountain being so far away. I reconvened with the family after their adventurous day in the snow, and we all got ready to head to dinner, which for tonight was teppanyaki. I've only ever had one teppanyaki experience, and that was back when I was in year 6 of primary school. So about 12 years ago. Wow, I'm old. Anyway, there was some really nice stuff on this menu. Some really good stuff and stuff I didn't really like but still gave it a go. Overall, was a very nice meal. Not everything on the menu I enjoyed, but I ate and enjoyed about 98% of the food that was served. And after leaving the restaurant, I got one quick little 360 shot of the area of the village we were in. It was quite nice to enjoy the nightlife here. Doesn't last long, but I enjoyed what I could with the time I had. Day 6. Today was the day I got all my skis. Forgot to film breakfast, sorry about that. So instead, have a nice bacon and cheese pizza I had for lunch. Today was a very short one, as I was mainly just messing around and having a play on my skis. Started at least 5+ times, but I was given some pretty cool footage from my GoPro I brought with me. My uncle and his mates went out on some pretty cool runs, so here's a nice little montage of what they did. Enjoy! I'll see you over there. Yep. Don't care for the cameraman at all. Oh! That was good. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. How nice is that? It's pretty sweet. Yes. Ready to go, and you are. And to end off today's adventure, I met back up with the auntie, uncle, and friends, and we all sat down to have zashiki, I think. It's the one where you sit on the floor, legs crossed to the side. If you know, you know. Day 7. I'm now officially halfway through my trip at this point, and what was going through my mind, you may ask? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Today was probably one of the very few days where I just cleared my head and just focused on learning to ski. I say learning as I had a private lesson that day, but something terrible happened. You see, all and most lesson meeting places were in the middle of the Hikari ski area. But my lesson, that was back at the Nagasaki area, in front of my building, with a sign a little bigger than an A3 to A2 poster. Now you may be wondering, how come you didn't see the sign, Mace? Simple answer, the sign was not in an easy spot to find. If I had one critique, have signs be a banner or a flag sitting at about 2 to 3 meters outside the main building it comes from. That way, you won't have dumbasses like myself having to wander and figure out where the hell I'm supposed to meet up. I then proceed to be over 30 minutes late for said lesson and only really get about an hour to 45 minutes to learn to ski. Yeah, not fun. It was all well and good though, although I didn't film it because I didn't want to hurt myself. I did go on one small run by myself for about 10 to 15 minutes. I did hurt myself a little, but not too extreme, so don't worry, I was fine. Anyway, I went to head back down to the Nagasaki gondola, only to be stuck inside it during howling winds. This was probably one of the most scariest things that's happened on this trip so far, and in my life in general. I thankfully made it back down, safely, rigging it with my auntie and uncle, but then my uncle wanted to take me up on a small runs to see what I could do, and suffice to say, I did absolutely shit. I was struggling to get my turns in. I had balance somewhat covered, I knew what to do for turning, it was just putting 2 and 2 together in a practical aspect which failed horrendously. And to end off the day, we all chilled in our lodge and had some pizza. Day 8. Okay, day 6 may have been short as I was just mucking about on the skis. Today was shorter, and not because I was mucking about on my skis, it was because we had a whiteout. Those winds we got from yesterday, yeah, they were only a taste of what was to actually come. Today, the gale that came over us blew so much snow that I could barely see 20 meters in front of me. I ultimately decided to not go skiing as I didn't want to get stuck out in the snow and freeze to death. So, what did I do? I tried to do some snow tobogganing, which was shortly lived. I don't really know what I was expecting trying to toboggan in a whiteout, but I gave it a go and that's all that matters. Afterwards, myself, my auntie and cousin came back down to get something to eat. And oh yeah baby, it was time for some ramen! And for all my ramen enjoyers, I had a bowl that was a miso soup based broth. But ramen was good, and afterwards we all went back to the lodge to relax and chill for a bit. And to end off the day, we all went to the other side of the village and regretfully waited about 2 hours for dinner. I did give this place the benefit of the doubt as it had 2 people working within a homemade restaurant, but what we had was the second best meal I've had all trip. If you're familiar with okonomiyaki, this is what we had. Again, 2 hours was a bit displeasing, however the meal did not disappoint. My god, it was good. Day 9. Okay, today was time for some real fun. Got up bright and early, eager to get out on the slopes, but a couple of things happened beforehand. Almost witnessed an accident. Stop! That was a great start to the day, and had another lesson that my auntie had so graciously booked for me the day prior. I honestly couldn't thank her enough for everything she had done for me on this holiday. Lesson was then completed, didn't film it as I had no time, but learnt so much as well as a lot better than my private lesson from day 7. I then met back up with my auntie, uncle and cousin, went up the Hikage gondola this time, and went for a quick ski down one of the really easy and smoother runs I had done so far. We then met up with their friends to have lunch at this place called Buna. I got myself a curry with pork cutlets, smashed my lunch and went back to skiing. Stopping every so often to film and show the amazing views I will probably only ever see once every few years or so. Or maybe never, who knows. And after this amazing day that I had, we went back to the lodge to relax for a bit. We then went out to get some burgers. We went to a restaurant called Genki Burger, and the burgers were quite delicious. Day 10. If day 9 was the climax for fun, then day 10 was the pinnacle. Today was by far the best day I had, and funnily enough, it was our last day in the snow. But first, time for some breakfast, and it was pancakes. Yum! Also, the start of today might have looked grim, but around mid-morning, it was all fine. Had some nice warm-ups on the main slip of Hikage, then we were off to the very top. And I mean, the absolute top. And as you can see by these views, the sights were unreal.
God damn. That's a good view. Wow. What a view. Holy. So you're saying all that blue stuff over there, like the bluey looking stuff, that's meant to be an ocean over there, is it? God damn! That's far away.
But going down was not for the faint of heart. You see, the runs in the resort are split into 3 different categories: beginner, intermediate, and difficult. But because they were color-coded, they were green, red, and black. Today, I was faced with the challenge of doing my first red run, and the first time was surprisingly a success, but every time was awful. I'm not at all fit, and that was my main flaw. After coming back down to meet with everyone once again, we all went up to the same place for lunch again. For today's lunch, I got myself a beef rice bowl. I've eaten a lot of really amazing food while being in Japan so far, and this was another great meal. Thoroughly enjoyed this. I was finally able to record some footage of myself using my GoPro I had with me. However, some of the POV footage was kind of poor, but my uncle offered to film me. This was because I was awkwardly holding my GoPro with a ski pole in the same hand, which you'll see in a bit. I realistically could have just held both poles in one hand and recorded with the other, but I didn't. That's a lesson to learn and remember for next time. Anyway, enjoy this little montage of me going for a ski. We skiing! Yippee! Nice cruisy run down the mountain. Let's go. Get some turns in while I can now, shall I? Whoa, look at me go. What's up? What's that? What's that?
GoPro.
Yeah, trying to see if I can record myself. Bit awkward, but I'm getting there. And it's going?
Yeah, it's pretty recording, yeah.
Alright.
This is my escape. I'm running through this world and I'm not looking back. 'Cause I know I can go where no one's ever gone and I'm not looking back. But how will I know when I get there? And how will I know when to leave? We've
We all then went back to the lodge to get ready for one last big group meal, which was to have some gyoza. So enjoy these clubs I'm about to throw at you.
We've done that once, and it was, I think it was ended up in, it felt really bad.
And after concluding our meal for our last night in the snow, I caught a glimpse of some light on top of the mountain. Turns out this was a snow groomer, and honestly, it was quite cool and really freaking terrifying to see what.
Insane. And then over the mountain over there, you can't see my hair. Over the mountain over there, up there, got some, more of the machines doing the grooming and stuff. But being able to see it from down here, that's insane.
Imagine being up on the mountain and seeing that at night. That would be terrifying, goddamn. Day 11. Breakfast item was a spicy tofu rice bowl, plus some toast and coffee I added myself. Had to wake up semi-early as to finalize packing things to have shipped off to the airport to save dragging around luggage. It was at this point I found out the Minnie Mouse ears, Miku pin and Sabo keychain were gone. Went for one last quick wander around the village, managed to catch up with the auntie uncle's friends for two reasons. One, to say goodbye, obviously, and two, to recreate a photo they took about 17 years ago when they were in the snow. Afterwards, we got a bus to the bullet train station to catch one of I think 2 or 3 trains. The first one was about a 2-hour trip to the end of the line, and the second was I think almost 3 hours. Either way, enjoy a montage of us traveling from Nagano to Osaka.
Beneath the weight of an untold design, the hand of fate broken, lives intertwined. Buried our youth, crossed our hearts, wiped the tears from our misty eyes. In a world unkind, with left behind, holding hands makes the blood and a bond divine. Sworn to be losers for life, but this time we won't hide. We stand on the line. Against the whispers and against all odds now. We raise our own band through this darkness below. Facing the mirror of reality, we turn nightmares into bright flakes of gold.
And after all that training around, we were finally in Osaka, our holiday home for the next 2 days and a bit. We then went straight to our hotel, checked in, found out how big this room was.
No. This is where we will be sleeping.
Oh my god. Yeah, I am not gonna fit in that. I am not gonna fit in that at all.
Sleep here.
I said to her, we have a fourth person with us. I don't think I put it in the reservation, but I think we have a family.
Turns out my auntie forgot to ensure me within the booking. Thankfully, the room came with a bunk bed. The only downside is I was way too big for it.
Oh, this is what I'm sleeping on. I barely fit. But the view, can't complain.
Just to clarify, I'm 6'1", which is roughly 185 centimeters. If I curled up carefully without sticking my legs or arms out, I was able to fit. However, with every con, there comes a pro, and the pro was yet again another amazing view. After we put our stuff down, we were off to a place called Dotonbori. If this name sounds familiar, it's probably because of this guy, the notoriously known Running Man billboard. Seriously, this guy was a big deal. Almost everyone was trying to get a photo or selfie, and I was no different. But we were here for one other thing, and that was street food. Apparently, to my little knowledge of Osaka, especially within Dotonbori, street food was something you just had to have. And this was my time to finally get one main thing I've been wanting since getting here. Takoyaki. Yes, I waited almost 2 weeks to have this, and I may have overhyped it to myself, but I enjoyed it, and that's what mattered. And to end the day off, going back to our hotel, we spotted a street performer playing a violin. Day 12. Starting off our first day in Osaka, we went to Universal Studios. But first, coffee, as I did not sleep well with my current sleeping conditions. I had to get the train to be able to access the entry of Universal, and it was then finally time to enter the park and have a look at everything. And the best way to describe this theme park is if you look up Warner Bros. Movie World, Universal Studios was essentially the same, but 10 times bigger and better. And for context, Movie World is one of the biggest theme parks here in Australia. But as we're wandering around and exploring, we have made our way over to Minion Park. And here lies our first ride, which to put it simply was a 4D experience minus the 3D goggles and such. Overall, was a very fun ride, but couldn't film it or any of the other rides, which I'm glad, as because I would be more focused on trying to get content over actually enjoying the ride for myself. And after finishing our time in Minion Park, it was time for the highlight of today, Super Nintendo World. I had no clue what to expect entering or rides-wise, but I kind of knew what the inside area looked like, mainly from seeing videos online. But before entering, I got my power band and then proceeded to go through the classic green pipe that we all know and love. And I've got to say, the sound effects that are in this place were amazing and pretty much one-to-one accurate to not only to the games but the movie as well. I'll leave you to deal with past me for reactions and such.
Everything in his land is actually amazing. Hey! Yeah! Real life Mario Kart. Let's go, some yo. Oh, you are approaching me, I see. This is so cool. Oh my god, look at these doors. Oh my goodness. Oh, no way! Hang on. Yo, where's the trophies? Oh my god. That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. The truth about bloopers. I'd love to be able to read that book. It's pretty thick though, so it might be a lot of reading. I don't have time for that. Yeah, we're back to do some Mario Karting. Woohoo! Let's go! Yahoo! Wow wow! Donkey Kong! Yo! god. Donkey Kong Country, that was amazing. What are you guys doing here? You're in the wrong world. What are Pikmin doing here? What? I got myself a green shell calzone, yakisoba and cheese. Looks delicious, smells delicious, I'm gonna get a bite. Very good, very good, very tasty. I'm gonna get some lucky blocks. What the hell are you guys doing? It's Toad! It's Toad! My boys! My boys! It's the castle. It's Peach's castle. Kinda cool. Very, very cool. Playing this in a minute. Squiddo walks out, we gotta spin that thing, knock him off, and we get a key in the inside.
We sadly only did 2 rides within this part of Universal, as mainly the last ride we were going to try was really slow and we were actually on a time limit. For those that aren't aware, if you get a ticket bundle when entering the park, you have to allocate yourself an entry time for certain rides, and our time entry for a ride in the Wizarding World was coming up. Afterwards, we then went to go on the Jaws ride that was there. Now next was probably one of the best stunt shows I had seen to this day. This was Waterworld, based on the film I might add.
This is very Borderlands-esque life. I love how you can see Mario Land in the background, but ignore them. We're here for a water show, not Mario. I hope I don't get splashed though. It's very cold. I'm wearing 2 layers of gloves. I don't particularly get
Now because we were in winter, it was very, very cold, and seeing these guys perform their stunts and jumping into the water, it was actually insane. At this point, it was starting to get late, and there was still a couple things left to do. There was one ride we had all been wanting to go on all day, but due to popularity and another ride being down, this ride was stacked. We went on a Flying Dino, a Jurassic Park based ride, and I could have said this ride was the best roller coaster I'd been on, but then I remembered the Journey to the Center of the Earth ride from Disney Sea, so I had to put this ride at number 2. Was still a great ride nonetheless, but because of all the screaming and such on this ride, my voice was kinda shot for the next couple days. We then went back into the Super Nintendo world to finish off some things that we wanted and needed to do. Now, I was unaware that you were only allowed in once, and that was it. And when we got inside, it became apparent to me why timed entries were a thing. But we pushed on completing the minigames within the main area to get some keys. These keys were needed to open the final puzzle, which was to fight Bowser Jr. and reclaim the Golden Mushroom. In short, that's the whole story for why there's interactable games within Super Nintendo world, which I found really cool.
Alright, you big... And... Ooh. Glowy, glowy, glowy. Ooh, the golden shroom.
It's nothing.
Now, how do we get it is the question. Peach, whatever you're saying, I will take that with great pleasure. Thank you very much, my beloved.
And to end this day off, I went to get my cousin and myself a nice Donkey Kong Barrel Cup souvenir. This was part of a really nice but strange Sunday hot chocolate, which seemed very tropical, as later I found that there was banana and a bunch of other fruit bits inside. Lastly, for dinner, we went to the Hard Rock Cafe. I haven't seen one of these for a while because here in Australia, there was one that I had gone to a small handful of times, but as of a couple of years ago, it closed down. So to see this, we decided why not and had some good food. I got myself a burger. Day 13. Today was another day exploring and doing touristy-like stuff. We got up and went straight to a very nice little bakery near the subway, and I had myself a very nice savory breakfast. But we were off to Kyoto, one of many places I really wanted to go and see. Now, for those that don't know, Kyoto is mainly known for all its traditional, yet beautiful and amazing shrines and temples, some of which have been around, I believe, since the Edo period of Japan. And we only went to a small handful of them, as going across all of Kyoto in one day, it was just too much. So next time I come back, I'm definitely going to spend a lot more time here and explore and visit all the shrines and temples that I missed. But what we did visit, I believe from memory, was Kifune Shrine, Yasaka Pagoda, Kizo Dera Temple, and of course Fushimi Inari Shrine, also known as the 10,000 Torii Gates. I stupidly kept calling Inari Shrine the 100 or 1000 Torii Gates, then realized later on I was severely mistaken. We also did manage to catch some snowfall as well, which I was told is a quite rare occurrence. Day 14, the last and final day. We started off by going to a buffet and enjoying a nice fulfilling breakfast, and then we were off to grab our things, check out, and go for a wander. We were able to have our stuff held in the lobby of our hotel, thankfully, until the end of the day. We were out pretty early, so we just went for a walk around the hotel area we stayed in. This is because nothing was opening up till like 11 o'clock, so going from everything being open bright and early to then having everything open in the middle of the day was a slap in the face to me, because I had been getting up very early. I will say, my sleep schedule was fixed temporarily while we were in Japan though. We all eventually went and got some last minute things that we wanted to grab. Had sushi train for lunch, I got myself a shirt and some souvenirs and gifts for friends. Then we grabbed our stuff from the hotel we stayed at and caught a train to the airport. And I had no clue until about halfway through the train ride that this airport was built on the ocean, I believe. Still crazy to think about, to be honest. After getting off the train, entering the airport, we went to grab our luggage we shipped off earlier. And for one last slap in the face in the airport, there was a store that had Gundam figurines. And a mate of mine had asked me to get him a very specific model kit. And everywhere I went, they were sold out. Look, I'll just play the clip.
Just walked up and seen these Gundams here. They're taking the absolute mick. I have been looking for a Gundam figurine for a mate of mine all this time. And for this to show up out of nowhere, it's taking the mick. It's taking the mick. It's taking the actual freaking mick. I'm so pissed off. And the thing is, they don't even have what I want. So it's even worse. It's a laugh in the face. So, haha, you look for it. Guess what? Not here either.
But sadly, all good things must come to an end. However, I was so grateful to have been given this opportunity to visit Japan with my auntie, uncle, and cousin, may I add. It was an absolute dream come true, and I will be back here soon. That's a promise. I was able to experience the grand majority of the things that I wanted to, but there were some things I was yet to even touch. So that'll just have to be for next time. I am back home, as you can see, and having come back to reality of my life and such, I couldn't be any more grateful for all of what I have achieved, experienced, and what I will continue to do. If you did enjoy, please let me know by liking the video, subscribe if you wish to see more vlogs in the future, and let me know which part of this video you enjoyed the most. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!